Okay guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to take apart a Benjamin Marauder pistol. As you saw in my last video, it seems like I got a bum barrel on this one, so a buddy of mine sent me a stock barrel from his Marauder that seemed to work okay. So I'm going to take out the one in mine, replace it with this, and hopefully I do a little better. If not, I'll probably send this one back to Crosman. I called them on the phone and they were very cooperative. They gave me a few things to check. Like to make sure that the barrel's not in contact with the barrel band, and make sure the shroud cap is not too tight or too loose. Back here. So the first step is to take off the scope so that you can get to these screws on the top of the receiver. My trusty Leapers 6x32 bug buster. It's kind of a good scope for short to medium range work. And then make sure the gun is fired. If you need to shoot it so that it's not cocked, then you can. Well, heck, I'll show you. So if it's cocked or like that, right? Take it off safe. Pull this back against the spring, then squeeze the trigger. Ride it forward. That's it. And then the next step is we'll take off your shroud cap, or if you have a moderator, take that off, because we're going to need to take the shroud off. Oh, that reminds me. Watch out for the O-ring, because the O-ring is just underneath there. Come on, you son of a bitch, focus. Was a little too close. So yeah, under the shroud cap there's an O-ring. Make sure you don't lose that. And then the next step is we'll unscrew the shroud. I don't think we need to degas it for changing the barrel, because we're not taking the valve off or anything like that. I wonder if I should do it just in case. A lot of damn pumping. Once that's unscrewed, you can just pull it out. Make sure I'm zoomed back. Good. It pulls off. So there's our shroud. When you go to put it back together, note that the end that goes to the receiver is not threaded all the way. And the end that goes at the muzzle end, is threaded all the way for the shroud cap. And then next step is, geez, now I'm really wondering if I should degas this. Well, you know what, I guess when in doubt, degas it, because you don't want to blow it up in your face. So I'm going to find the degassing tool and then come back. Okay, back with my degassing tool here. Quick shot of that so you can see what we've got here. This is her. This is actually pretty simple to use. This gaping hole that they left in the back of the receiver that I was kind of complaining about last time. This is where this is going to come in handy, so just goes in here. Start to screw that in a little bit. And then take one of those crappy Allen wrenches that they give you with the UTG scopes. Stick it through the hole. Just start to tighten it down a little bit. We'll hear the air start to leak out. All done. Now we can take this out, and we know the gun is out of air. Check on the pressure gauge. Yep, out of air. So now we know we're 100% safe. The only thing that's storing any kind of energy now is the hammer spring, and we decock that, so that should be good. Generally, you want to degas it if you're gonna mess with the valve, or if you're gonna take the receiver off of the air tube or anything like that. I don't think we needed to do it to take the barrel off, but just better safe than sorry, right? So then, a smaller Allen key here. I'm gonna loosen up the. I should do a little better job here. Got a screw on the top here. It's got a little bit of Loctite on there. And there's two more here. So I loosen that one. It's not loose yet, so loosen this one too. It's still not loose. Loosen that one too. I would think that the barrel should come out by now. Oof, I'm off camera here. Let me show you what I was talking about. One screw here, one here, one here. Now I should be able to just pull this out, I think. No? All right. Or if it's Loctited in there or something, or maybe I need to loosen these too. Wrong size. Shit. Guess I should have done this once before I made a video, huh? Alright, that one's Imperial. I bet there's another Allen screw on the bottom somewhere holding it together. Alright, so for reference, that is 3/32. I don't have any Allen drivers that size, so I gotta make do with my hex key set. This is an old one I got at Farm and Fleet probably 15 years ago. Those little Allen drivers sure do make it a lot faster. So just for review, I loosened this screw here, this one here, this one here. The barrel's still not loose, so I'm assuming that there's maybe another screw on the bottom of this the receiver that holds it to the air tube here. This is going to take the receiver barrel assembly off of the pressure tube. Be a little bit careful. You'll lift this up and then slide this back out through the ring. You want to not lose this transfer port. Oh. And then it pops out on the floor. Good job, Jeremy. Where did you go, you little son of a bitch? Alright, there she is. So, there's the barrel out. So this is in here. And that set screw, get a little closer, that set screw locks down into this flat. We have an O-ring here, which I'm going to save. Never use that unless it's all torn up. And the threaded end goes towards the muzzle end of the barrel. And then we take off this this little assembly here. That's just a press fit on, so we can just do something like get an adjustable wrench and just pop that off on the floor as well. Yeah. Okay, so there's the junk barrel. Put that aside. The first thing I noticed looking at this this other barrel, the one that's supposed to be good, is that it's finished better on the outside. It's got a little bit more of a gloss finish to it. Interesting. Okay, so then let's start piecing this back together. Get a little bit of oil. Some Craftsman silicone chamber oil. Probably doesn't have to be anything that exotic, but just to put a little bit on my finger and kind of lube the outside of the barrel here a little bit so we can slide that O-ring on easier. Not quite sure why one of these seems to be metric and the other one doesn't. I guess I should get this so that that O-ring goes in first. It should be sealed in there like that. And then when we push this down, it'll kind of get in there. Too far. It's probably going to have an impact on how well the shroud works. Darn. I need to somehow mark that so I don't go too far. Ugh. Shit, I guess I need to mark the top part then. Should actually lube that O-ring a little bit. There we go. It'll make a better seal if it's got a little bit of oil on it. Go. That kind of lined up right. Alright, so that's tightened down to the right spot. And this seems to be covered with lead dust. That doesn't mean that pellets were clipping on this, but I don't see any evidence of that. So there's nothing that should make this sensitive to orientation. So I'm just going to pop this back on here. Just press it on just like it was. And we should be good to put this back together. Here's the underneath the underside of the receiver here. There's a little gasket in there. We want to make sure. Oh shit! I just knocked. All right, that needs to go on here. Maybe just a tiny little bit of oil on that. I'm using silicone chamber oil here so that I don't get any way to have it. There we go. And then we gotta. Let me zoom back first. Put this back so that these screws, the screws on the receiver, line up with the flats in the barrel. So I should put a little bit of lube on this O-ring too, so that that has a good, just a little bit of oil, so that that has a good seal with the receiver. Son of a bitch. There goes the transfer port again. That's probably going to fall out a couple more times, but I'm not going to worry about it now. So now we can tighten this down. Let's start to anyway. Just until it. There we go. And if we get that in there in the right spot, this screw should be straight up. And if we just get it so that it just touches and then back it out a little bit and we try to turn the barrel, yeah, there we go. If we try to push the barrel back and forth, it should stop it. Too tight. Let's have a look at that transfer port. Still got the ring on there. Good. Stick that back in there. And then I should be able to reassemble this. These screws in here, these kind of machine bolts in here, get them started. This Marauder top end is held on a lot tighter than the, oops. Yeah, I didn't get this lined up before I put that back on. You see I can get the bolt is stuck back because I had that too far back when I put the top end back on the frame. God damn it. Nice tight fit there. Now let's try that again. Started with my fingertips there because this is slow going with this big hex key set. Okay, let's see how she works. A little bit of oil on this O-ring, just a little bit of silicone oil. By the way, it's not silicon. Silicon is what semiconductor chips are made out of. Silicone. That's what goes in the fake boobs and the air gun O-rings. Okay. Just realized I didn't check for an O-ring seal between the air tube and the transfer port. So we're back on that. Not too tight, just a little bit snug. And I'll mount up the scope and we'll see how it goes. See if she shoots any better. Okay guys, here's the continuation. By the way, some of you probably noticed I forgot to put that O-ring back in the end of the shroud, but I did catch that before I put it back together and mounted the scope. Here's a target with the original barrel and the P-Rod's favorite pellet, which was the H&N Field Target Trophy. And you can see it's, I don't know, not too good really. This is probably 3/4 to a 1-inch group at 14 yards. Not very good. This was a sighter. Oh, that was a sighter too. Okay, so let's not count that. But here, that's at least a 1/2 inch at 14 yards. Not very good for a PCP air gun. This one's even a little bigger, maybe 5/8. This one here. That's with the original barrel. Now with that old barrel that a buddy sent me, I shot 2 groups here. This is with the H&N FTT again. You can see it's just 2 holes. But that it's worth noting too that this last target was shot with a 20x scope. So no optical limitations there. This new one was shot with just a 6x scope, the Bugbuster with the fat reticle, and you can see the group is tiny. It's just 2 holes, and I, probably pulled one of those myself. And then this one is with the Air Arms Diablo field pellets, which are generally very good in my guns, but this one doesn't seem to like it. So easily 100% improvement when you get rid of the junk barrel. And just for future reference, because this video might be around for years and years, I bought this gun in March 2017. I don't know how old that other barrel was that I swapped into it, but it had a more polished look to the outside of it. So if someone at Crosman is watching this, whatever you did to the barrels between the time when they were shiny on the outside to when they are dull, you kind of screwed it up, I think. So based on that experience, I really like this gun. It's very handy. It's not too long. It's light. Great trigger. Good overall build quality, but just you can't really count on the stock barrel. So my advice is, if you're thinking of buying a Marauder pistol, if you want a gun that's ready to go without anything, if you want a carbine that's ready to go without any more work on it, be ready to send it back to Crosman when you get it for them to fix the barrel. Otherwise, look for something else. This is I got this for right around $400, maybe a little bit less with the discount code. But then plan on having to spend more for a custom barrel, either by Marmot Militia or someone else, another 100, 150 bucks. So before it's ready to shoot, it's going to be $500 gun. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I think I'm done with the gun for now. I'm going to test it out tomorrow in the indoor range at 30 yards, and we'll see how she does. I don't expect it to keep up with my my S510 or anything, but if it can keep it within an inch at 30 yards, that'll probably be good enough for me, especially with the little humble 6x scope.